All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Oh, it's going to be a humdinger, as we like to say. I got a packed panel for you guys. We're going to talk movies, what it's like to put these bad boys together. Get your questions ready because, we got filmmakers, actors, producers, the works coming onto your screen right now. So, although we can't hear you, put your virtual hands together for here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, hold on. Everybody's coming up. There it is. I'll give you a nice round of applause. Look at that. Jane's got fireworks behind her. All right, everybody. You guys excited? Thanks for being here.
Yes.
Thank you for
All
having
right.
us.
This is for a new film, y'all. It's obviously Somewhere to Run, right?
Yeah.
We all know it. We all love it. And we're going to go around the horn and just have everybody introduce themselves to the comments tonight. So, Harry, starting with you. Go for it, sir.
Harry Kakitsakis. I am the director of Somewhere to Run.
I'm Trisha Miller. I'm a producer.
Jane, you go.
Jane Petrov, producer and actor, Skytown Entertainment.
I'm Wendy Worthington. I play Patty the waitress, and this is Sirius Black.
Oh, nice.
On with me.
Love it.
I'm
And
Gary
Gary.
Clevens. I'm the writer and still working on trying to get a part for Sirius Black in the film, but we haven't been able to quite work
You
that
don't want him on your film.
They say never work with kids and animals, but I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Sirius Black
I'm
looks
also
like
going to be one of the actors in the film, so.
Well, let's see who wants to take point. So, Gary, I'm going to start with you because you reached out to me, and I'm very excited you did because, like I said, I want to share this with. We're doing something called was it Seed and Start? Give me the name of that. Seed and Spark.
Spark, yeah.
Seed and Spark. Tell us a little bit about
Actual
Seed and
address.
Spark.
The actual address is a little bit long, so while I'm speaking, I'm going to ask Trisha if you can pull that address up so that.
Oh, don't worry. So what we're going to do, Gary, is we're going to have the address for everybody in the description as they're watching the show. So it's already there, my friend. So everybody watching can just look in the thing, and if Gary's talking and you want to go see what it's like, or wait till after the show, go check it out. In fact, we also have links to everyone on our show today. If you have an IMDb page or something else that Gary provided, they are also in the description, so everyone can check out how great you all are.
Awesome.
All right.
Nice. It's very exciting. Well, Seed and Spark, they come out of New York. They are geared towards helping to raise funds for film. Unlike, like there's Indiegogo and Kickstarter, and that's pretty much for everybody. But Seed and Spark is very film-centric. So when you're going to a Seed and Spark page to raise money for your film, you can see exactly where your dollar goes. You can see that you're supporting some of the legal fees or some of the casting, or you're supporting craft service, the director's salary. You can break that down and see what it's all about.
Gary's like, that's my favorite part. Oh, that's really nice.
Because you'll see a lot more information there. Also, if you go to our website, you'll see more information about the film. But go to Seed and Spark, share it with your friends. We only have a short amount of time while it's up to hit our goal, and we do need all of your help to do so.
Seed and Spark is different from some of the other crowdfunding platforms where we have to get to a specific percentage of our goal or we get nothing. So we really need people to go and help and pledge and help us get this film rolling.
That's great. And Harry, so I'm going to share something with the audience before we get going too long, but I'm going to show a little trailer. Is there anything you want to say about it before we share it with the audience?
No.
No.
Is this the Seed and Spark trailer, the setup for that?
Yes, this is that.
I can go for that. I'll take this for you, Harry.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
The bit of this trailer that you're going to show that comes off Seed and Spark, it introduces the film in kind of a way what it's about. It's going to tell the story of what this film is all the way up until the point that we ask for you to support it. So you'll get to learn a little bit about the darkness of the film. You'll get to learn a little bit about the hope of the film. You get to learn a little bit about the fact that it's a neo-noir drama. From that, I don't want to say anything more because I don't want to ruin the magic.
All right, so we're going to show the magic, and I'm also going to do it so that we can all be on the screen and watch it together, so we can see everybody's reaction. All right.
Yay.
So
We're planning on taking you on
There
a
you go.
journey, one of hope and survival in the face of despair. We want to introduce you to the dark side and shine a light on the people who live there, the denizens of the streets that get forgotten when the sun rises, the homeless, the sex workers, and the weekend warriors. But don't be frightened by what I tell you. We're bringing you a love story wrapped in a neo-noir drama, focusing on a bright spot in the after hours.
here's the diner.
Leon's Diner. Hi, my name's Gary Clavins, and I'm the writer of the upcoming film Somewhere to Run. I'll also be playing Coop in the film, a character who's looking for a reason to live, only to find love in the most unlikely of places, the heart of a prostitute. Coming to you right now, though, because we're living in the golden age of independent filmmaking. It's become more affordable to make an independent film, which is why we can bring together talent like Jose Zanega, Michael Dempsey, Wendy Worthington,
Yeah.
Meg DeLacy, Ellie Darcy Alden, and the Academy Award nominated actress June Squibb, all in one cast. But we still need your help to make a quality film. Your support will cover the cost from the genius behind the camera to the talent in front of the camera. It will cover the cost of props, costumes, locations, art department, music rights, catering, insurance, and festival fees. Somewhere to Run is more than just a story. It's a film about hope in the face of adversity and despair. It's finding reasons to live and love. It's also a murder mystery.
What?
Yeah.
You
Your
just
support
winked at
for
me.
this film will not only help create art, may help save a life as well. Because sometimes everybody needs somewhere to run.
That's the name of the movie.
You get it.
There we go. Look at that. So very cool, y'all. That's a
Somebody dies?
Murder mystery.
You have to go see the movie to find out.
murder.
Wow.
Well, let's talk about the casting, since we talked about the great cast in there. How did the casting start? Wendy, how did you become a part of it?
I've known Gary for a long time, and he's been gracious enough to include me in some of his other projects. And he's
Dana's here.
carved out a part for me in this, so I'm looking forward to it.
Gracious enough to include her. I should thank her every time she steps on camera for me.
She's very talented.
Extremely
talented.
talented woman. Yeah.
Isn't it wonderful to know talented people you can just call and go, if you say yes, I will be so happy.
Yeah.
Well, I
Right, 'cause it's
call them up and I say, listen, remember that time we were out drinking?
Well,
Were we in a movie?
We're lucky to have Wendy and everybody actually that's attached.
Yeah.
We're very lucky.
Yeah.
Now, before we go on, Dana, welcome. Thanks for
Welcome.
making
Hi,
it.
Dina.
Good afternoon. I should say good afternoon. Good evening here in the East Coast.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
nice
yeah,
to
East
see
Coast.
everybody. And I'm sorry, I'm a little jet lagged. I just got back from
Still got some
Thank
the
you.
Oscar celebrations, which were amazing, and Gary was gracious enough to attend with his beautiful date. But thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So let's reflect on that. I mean, this is about making movies. How was your Oscar party? Were you happy? Did your ballot? Did you do well?
Oh,
What
it
did you
was
do?
awesome. Really was.
Good.
I was very impressed. It wasn't the big, the governor's ball, but it was. We ended up in Mulholland at a friend's little house overlooking the beautiful city of LA, and
The
it was
Oscar party was
just
good
a
though.
wonderful event.
We got some red carpet exposure.
Oh, great.
Hopefully Getty will take our pictures. I'm not sure how that works. We got a few interviews, one with Backstage Pass, one with Behind It magazine.
Mhm.
So yeah, we did kind of have a little bit of good red carpet exposure. So it was a lot of fun.
And Dana, if you could tell our audience, since we haven't introduced you yet, introduce yourself to everyone and tell them your position on the project?
Yeah, Dana Essigman here in Boston as a producer on this amazing film. Can't wait. And also attached as I think I'll be doing some publicist work too. So I'm really excited. It's just this team is amazing. We were out. My partner Arthur Wahlberg, Mark's brother, is also attached to STR, and we were out and had the pleasure of meeting this amazing team in July during the strike, and we synced up, and there was a lot of energy there, and we're psyched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is like that proverbial 6 degrees of separation. Dana and I, we grew up in the same town, 1 year apart, never met. But one of my closest friends from childhood is a good friend of his. Called me up one day and said, I know somebody who you need to talk to. And that's kind of how Dana came on board.
Yeah, and just to go back to before Dana popped on, we were talking about casting and how we're assembling some amazing talent, and some of us already know these people. We've been, pounding the producer pavement and creating art for years. So, people have become our friends and colleagues in all kinds of ways. And what Dana was referencing is we did a table read last summer in the middle of the strike, and everybody was. We had such a tremendous turnout of talent for that. And one thing I love about doing a reading of a screenplay, it really creates its own energy, its own buzz, and attracts talent to the project just into itself. And it was a wonderful time, a wonderful experience, and helped springboard some other aspects of the production. So, and having Dana there and Artie were like our featured guests and collaborators. So I think meeting face to face during these weird post-pandemic times is, I think, critical. And we're that kind of team. We're all about let's know each other. Let's really form a bond of collaboration to get to the finish line, because this is a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah, right now you can say that this pretty much is the family that's putting this together. Because, I mean, for the years that I've known Wendy, the years I've known Trisha, longer than anybody else in this room, and including Michael Dempsey, who I've known about as long as you, Wendy, I believe, also has been in every project that I've done except for one. So a lot of these people that have come on board, it's kind of humbling that they stay with me project after project after project. And this one, in a small little way, I like to think is my way of giving back, because they've done so many shorts for me that I couldn't imagine doing a feature film without these people.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah, I mean, those table reads can be magic, man. I've been to a few of those, and it's just like, like Gary, you're the screenwriter. You write the words, and you hear them a certain way, but then like Wendy gets a hold of it, and she does her magic. And you're like, oh, that's obviously better than I could have dreamed, right? Those moments are
absolutely experienced that moment.
Yeah. And hear it, you hear it.
Think of it that way.
Yeah. What also attracted me to the project was the fact that it's going to resonate with any and everyone. I mean, everyone needs somewhere to run, and I've been doing benefits, charities, fundraising with my Wahlberg buddy for 10 years now, and addressing these issues that are so prevalent in somewhere to run: food insecurity, mental health issues, suicide. So that's also what really attracted me, to this project.
That's a good point, Dana. The film's social relevance is timeless.
It is.
And the more I lived, the more life I was able to write into the script. This is I'd say probably one of the oldest scripts that I have. And it's also the only script I ever wrote that wasn't a rom-com. But I just kept coming back to it and coming back to it and coming back to it. There was just something about this script that made me want to continue. And it's not a script of just pure imagination. What it is these people that are in the screenplay, they're people we see every single day. Sometimes they're invisible to us. Sometimes we're invisible to them in their world, but they are all of us. Every one of the people who are in the script are made up by any one of us. Circumstances aside, we're just not that much different from the homeless, the prostitutes, the pimp, the cop, the teacher, the restaurateur. You know, all of them are all of us, and it doesn't matter if you're I don't know, an apprentice, a journeyman, master craftsman. We've all been that person. We've been the pimp. I was at a party the other day. Let me just tell this as an anecdote. I was at an event the other day, and I heard somebody say that a good girlfriend is one who will mention your name in a crowd. I kind of chuckled at that because I thought, okay, well, that's true. But that also means she's pimping you. So we've all been that, okay? And we're all artists, as I was saying. You know, whether you're a journeyman or an apprentice or a master, you're an artist. We've all prostituted ourselves in some way, just not that same on the street kind of a way. And you know, we're all poets. Our one character in the film,
even the cat.
Poet, we're all poets. We really are. You know, it doesn't, we're not Oscar Wilde, we're not Emily Dickinson, we're not William Shakespeare, but all it takes to be a poet is to have a little empathy in your heart, and poetry is in your heart. So we are every single one of these characters in this film, even though they may be on the other side of the tracks or invisible to us during the day, or we step aside from them at night.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, just like them, we all need somewhere to run. Oh, he said it.
Oh.
Look at you guys.
But,
Keeping it real.
I think, Gary, that's one of the things that I love most about this particular story, and he's been sending it to me to read for well over a decade. It's probably been at least a decade and a half, and every iteration it just kept getting better and better. But what really attracted me was the fact that these characters are so real. They just feel very real to me now. I think of them as real people. So
that's one of the things that really attracted me to it too, is this: everybody's wounded, everybody is messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And that really, I want to direct films about people who are that wounded. And, you know, and so that to really be able to dive into that and work with the actors to get the realest performances possible for people who, you know, where life hasn't gone the way they had hoped, and then they end up in a place where they're like, how did I get here? And that's really interesting to me.
And Jane, what attracted you to the project? I think I've heard everyone's voice. What got you?
Well, I worked with Harry on several projects over the years, including the theater community back in New York, before creating Skytown Entertainment and focusing on film. So once you work with a director or in any capacity, and you know that person, you're like, wow, this person has vision. This person can get to a finish line. This person has a similar aesthetic. Even like in recall to some editing sessions on a project we worked on together, I was really feeling a similar aesthetic about an edit, for example. I'm like, okay, this is great. I don't have to, you know, there's no sense of, oh, this is the wrong direction. It's always a great direction, you know, and there's also room for collaboration. And so separately, Harry and Gary have known each other, but Gary had reached out to me different ways. I guess my company's name kept popping up in different ways. And when he told me about the story, I'm like, I'm kind of the same way. It's like, I like to investigate. I'm a happy-go-lucky person, positive, but my heart is really about diving deeper into characters that, or real human beings that struggle. And what is it that gets them to get to the other side, to get to experience joy and happiness and all these other positive emotions. So as an actor, I'm that way. As a collaborator, I'm that way. As a producer, etc. So that's really why I jumped on board.
Well, yeah, I want to touch base on that. Skytown Entertainment kept popping up. To me, it was like the universe was trying to tell me something. I had no idea who Jane was. I didn't know that she was connected to Harry. I just kept seeing Skytown, and there was something about it that, you know, sometimes you see a person or you see a restaurant or you see a business and you go, oh, I got to go there. I have to try that. I have to meet that. There was something about Skytown that made me go, I have to approach what they are. And I found out that Jane was connected to Harry, and I did reach out and then made the reach out to Jane, but that was just the universe saying, hey, this is somebody who's close, and let's get involved.
Well, I love that the subject matter and so many of the topics that you have in this is what really drew most of you. Is what I'm hearing. Is like that's what drew you all here to see how this plays out. And before we move on from that, I want to show you guys from the UK. Here we go. Adrian James is one of our subscribers. We're going to go through the audience and just see who's joining us tonight. Tiana, we love. Hey, Tiana.
Hi, Tiana.
Wilkie's here. What's up, dog?
Hey. Wow.
Emerson
Emerson,
Cole.
how you doing, buddy?
Oh yeah, you got a
I
couple
know
of dabs there from Emerson. Scabs is here. What's going on, Scabs? Great panel. You're gonna get some insight for Scabs.
How awesome.
Movie Hunter 2020 is here tonight. Amazing. And look, Tiana's saying that Huck, this is cool. See you guys? We're bringing cool. So we're very excited. Let's see. Make sure I don't miss anybody. Everyone. A lot of people also love to say, hey, once they get in here, they love seeing their friends. I was telling you guys earlier. Yeah, we're a big friend community. Basement Blues here. Tony. This is Tony. Y'all say to Tony. Tony's here. Let's see.
I feel like
Joanna.
I have that magic mirror, and I see Joanna. Like,
yeah, Joanna's here.
You're yourself again.
Hating yourself, Gary.
Oh, look, my wife is here, right? AKA Kitten Paws. What's up, babe? Oh, she likes to support my shows. Eli is joining us. What's up, Eli? My friend Tim at Tim Talks Talkies. He's a super big movie fan.
Cool.
Dave, the 4K Lowdown. What's Johnny watching? He's watching the cool kids.
He's watching us.
Right? And let's see anybody. Russell Town is here. Look at that. The Pounder from Pounder.
Russell.
See, Russ, it only took these people and 3 years for you to get on one of my streams and say something.
Thank you, Russell. We're honored.
I am happy you're here. So yeah, this is great. And Danielle. Hello.
Danielle.
We know Danielle.
Michael Hubbard. Look at this. So look, we got Michael Hubbard. This guy, he's from Florida, East Coast. Where you are, Harry? Harry, where are you at? You're saying you're East Coast tonight.
Me?
Are you East Coast? Oh, no, I'm sorry, Dana. Dana, you're East Coast.
Yeah, Dana's
Dana, where are you coming
outside
from?
of Boston. Outside of Boston. And I'm also with the Boston Film Festival as an advisor. So this film is going to blow everybody away. It really is.
With that film festival, that's cool. Yeah.
Jane, are you still in New York?
I'm actually I'm in New York right now, in upstate New York, and I fly back to LA tomorrow, and all the power went down today. So that's why I was like, scramble.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm at a friend's house setting up shop. It's crazy, but it's been a great time. I was covering the New York office while my business partner was away. So we put actors on tape. For those of you who are listening, it's a fun way to stay involved in the industry, working with amazing talent all the time. So talk about another resource of talent. It's been fun to reach out to our own community.
Well, Jane, let me tap into Skytown then for just a second. I love what you're saying. And then Wendy, we're going to bring you in on this particular thing about auditioning, because nowadays people are auditioning like we say with tape. That's what us old people say, tape. It's not tape, you know, but it's all just video submissions now. I don't all, but a lot of it, you know,
primarily
Wendy can send it to Jane or
Ellie. We actually started doing this in 2009. It was still a need back then, and it's become a bi-coastal service that we're really proud of and have survived, you know, pandemics and strikes and recessions. Oh my! But yeah, the tape world, it's going to be this way. We still call it tape.
Good. I don't feel so bad.
But it's a great way to get a first read on somebody, and then from there you can even put them in a room like this and do chemistry read, and then bring them in person.
Well, Wendy, so
Yes,
did
sir.
you have to make a tape, or were you already in
I
like
did not.
Flynn?
I did not. It was an
Go ahead,
awesome.
man.
Some
That
people
rare
don't need to
time
make
when I
tapes.
didn't have to convince somebody that I was. But yeah, the self tapes have become the main way that we do any auditions these days. You get an occasional in person one, but I mean, the good thing about it is that it doesn't matter where you are. I had an audition for a commercial right before Christmas, and the callback was right after Christmas, and I was back in Philadelphia at my brother's, so he made me a little studio in a bedroom, and I did the callback from there. And then when I was flying back to LA, that's when I found out I had it, and
Oh my.
was going to go to Vegas for 4 days. So um,
That is
yeah.
absolutely
It's
amazing that technology, and Trisha, maybe you can chime in on this. Like I've cast, I did a film myself back in the 90s, and there's something so like exhilarating when that casting process is there and you bring people in and you don't know who the face of this character is yet, and someone just
Mhm.
shows it to you. But that was all in person. So now that you're getting
Yeah,
submissions like from Wendy
completely
or other
different.
actors, what is that like for you? How is that um, landscape different? Is it good, bad, better?
I actually don't like it very much, but I have to do it. Um, because there's something about walking into a room, even though the ultimate the end product is still going to be mediated in some way.
mhm.
Um, there's really just something about when you walk into a room in person, um, because not only can you, first of all, you can communicate to them. I would be fun to work with, and I'm not crazy, um,
Yeah.
Right?
which is sometimes a little bit harder to communicate when you're just sending in a tape. And I can give you what you're looking for, or some other version of what you're looking for, or try something completely different.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
all in the room. If I submit a tape, you have no idea how many takes it took me to get that. And so
Hmm.
you may be getting an actor who can be really great after they've had 53 takes, which you don't necessarily want.
No.
And you may also want to try something with them. I mean, I've had a lot of times when I've gone in the room and the director has said, "Okay, let's try it this way." Now that audition that I was just talking about, the callback was with the director, and he did give it was a live callback. It was not a taped thing, so he was able to give me direction and
Okay.
lines and try different things and so
Oh,
forth,
that's
which was
excellent.
very helpful. It was much better than just let me guess what you're looking for.
Yeah,
Um,
Right.
yeah, she's right, and what we do as as putting people on tape for all these kinds of roles, co-star, guest star, series reg, or theater commercials, we try to anticipate. Obviously, casting directors give a request of what they're looking for in your performance, but what we zero in on, whether it's one scene or three, is to really give a variety of choice in those different scenes, so that even if it's like this is the description and she's angry and entitled and
mhm.
this and that, we still try to slide in other aspects of behavior because of this situation, so that casting and say, wow, I didn't expect a laugh there from that person,
Mhm.
so that's a new, that's just some way to keep you from having to do 50 takes and whatever, is to give that flavor, to get that callback, basically, is to show
Yeah.
that range out the gate.
So the
Yeah, I mean,
benefit people have,
always
Jane, coming to you is that you can direct them instead of just doing it at home. They make a choice at home,
Right.
make their reel, send it in. But actually coming in, you get to like, use your skills and your experience to help
And
Mhm.
it's
them.
going
Right.
to look a lot
Coach,
more
direct,
professional.
give
Yeah.
options. Yep.
It's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
look a
What
lot
was
I
more
that,
think
Trisha?
a
professional.
film like
It's going
this,
to look a lot more professional if Jane and Skytown, if they do it, it's not going to look like a homemade self tape, and so
Mhm.
that's
I
going to be
think
an
a film
advantage.
like this as well, because it's an ensemble cast and it relies so much on the interaction and relationships between people
Mhm.
that when it comes down to it, and Harry, if I may speak for you, I don't think Harry's going to take off tape auditions. He's going to want to meet the people.
Want to say
Am I
hi?
correct?
Come on, say hi.
I mean,
Yeah.
certainly for the callbacks, to Wendy's point, I want to be able to say, okay, do it this way, or to be able to direct them and see if we work well together. If maybe there's some friction that I don't want to deal with, and so it's always good to be able to have that connection, that human connection, before you actually take the dive.
Mm-hmm.
So who all, let's paint a picture. If anybody watching, wants to get into show business, be an actor, or producer or anything, public. Now, Dana, I'm sort of fascinated. I'm going to have you chime in just a second here about, you said you're going to do some publicity, right? Potentially for the film. So, all right, I'm going to get to you in a second because I find publicity fascinating. So, so Harry, I guess maybe it's to Harry and Trisha then, as the director and producer. So are you going to like set up shop? You have an audition room. People are going to come in. Or will you first take submissions? Like maybe Jane's got this great person. You got to see this submission. And then based on that, you could say, okay, this looks good, but I need to meet you now because like you said, you want to be on a set for a month. And this guy's like, Mr. I want green M&Ms every day or I'm off, off the show.
Probably the latter, just for
Yeah.
expediency. The casting director weeds through. These are the people who we think you're going to like, and they're professional casting director. Their judgment is probably pretty good. And then you see the people on tape. You're like, well, they're good. They actually can act. They're right for the role. Out of these 10, I want to see these 5, and then those 5, you definitely want to meet in person.
Right. Because as Gary said, there's so much to the chemistry because in this story being an ensemble and so many of the characters, their stories are overlapping and they engage with each other. And I just think getting that chemistry right between the characters is going to be critical, and that really does need to be done in person. And so,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you see it in all the great, we just had the Oscars last night, and the one thing you see is chemistry. A great film when, I don't know if you guys have seen American Fiction yet, but that is unbelievable. It is, the writing is so good, and the characters, like that's it. You don't get those characters without that sort of like Harry, like you're saying. I just feel like the director had to have met all those people and said, you, and you. That's the family. Okay, now who's the friend? And then you get that gold.
Starting next year, the Oscars are going to include Oscars for casting.
Really?
As they should.
In recognition of the fact that that's a critical part of the process.
Yes.
It really is. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
And part of the process is to bring actors in together to see how they read off each other, to see their history.
Yeah, pair people, switch it.
Yeah.
The subject matter of this film is pretty heavy. So you got to make sure that you're not working with somebody who's already on the edge.
What I have to say, I just have to say, I really do love though that this option that Skytown is presenting, it really does help the casting directors to weed down, what might otherwise be weeks of seeing people. They can review all these tapes first and kind of narrow down the choices, and so it's a brilliant service.
It's a great way to start the process.
It's a huge boon to casting.
Yeah. Here. I love casting.
You don't have to worry that everybody's living in the same city or available at the same place.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Broaden that net.
And now, Dana, we're gonna jump down at the bottom square, y'all. It's like Hollywood Squares, but we're missing 2 people.
Right.
So when we put together this film, an amazing film like this, and a cast and a crew, here it is, and you're doing publicity. When does that start? Does that start before the movie even gets going? Is it during? Is it after? Give us a little insight about your role in that aspect of putting this film together. I think it's pretty bad.
Definitely before and during, production. It's all about leveraging positive relationships, and I think the fact that we're going to be filming in both Boston and LA, I can help, precipitate a lot of the physical sponsors or the product placement in this film. So, and like I said, I'm just so happy to be working with these talented individuals. Jane, Tricia, Barry, or Skip. It's going to be
Good old Skip.
really fun.
Yeah. So Dana, so what is this process of that? So you're saying like getting product placement and stuff like that. That's fascinating because that can get you some really nice income for your film. Like if you that's what those are for, right? So if you're pursuing, oh, let's say we got us a pimp out there on the street, maybe he's got some fly looking jacket or whatever, like, or he's driving a certain car. Is that what you go after? And you say, look, I know my guy's a pimp, but hear me out. He needs a car, and we need your car. Like,
absolutely.
Like, give us a little peek behind the curtain.
Even like Fluffernutter was very popular during the period of this film, and Coke, of course, and so many other products that we can connect with the companies. And I have a couple of good relationships with some food companies that we're working with now.
Dana's being shy. We have a diner location in the
Yes,
film
tell us about that.
is a gold mine of product placement. Whether now, sure, Coca-Cola would probably be a little bit too big, but anything that's a smaller brand, and I don't want to mention any brands because I don't want to lock ourselves into anything.
Right.
Coffee brands or
pop or soda, depending on what part of the
Coffee.
country you're from. Brand. We can say fluff. Go Lynn, Massachusetts. But a fluff nutter, a sandwich, any kind of a food product, whether it's a bakery good or a coffee or something that you would find in a diner, something that is a diner product like Bun coffee machines. I know I shouldn't have said that, but all of that is product placement. All of that, anything that has a logo on it that could be in a diner. And when you're in a situation like that, it's just a gold mine. It's an opportunity to just reach out to any single one of those companies. Well, actually, there is a few companies that do that for you. They'll read the script and they'll highlight everything, or they'll go, oh, this would work, this would work, this would work. And they'll reach out. Having Dana available to do that kind of helps us cut a few corners in the beginning. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you're connected to a couple of food industry things back in Boston, correct? Yeah,
correct.
He had mentioned something to me before. Mm-hmm. But product placement is, it's a gold mine in this kind of a film.
Yeah.
No, well, let's talk about the diner then. So where is the diner actually located? And when you get it, okay, is it like this gold, is it like abandoned and so you can use it anytime, or is it a working diner, therefore you have to work around their schedule? Who wants to chime in on that?
I'll chime in. It depends.
I just had a freeze up or something weird, just a glitch just happened.
I guess Gary will chime in.
That's just you.
Was it just me?
Go ahead, Gary. Otherwise, I'll go ahead. Yeah.
But it depends. I mean, whatever the right diner is, and then whatever deal we get, that's the diner we use. The right diner might not be abandoned. We might have to rent it out. And so it really depends.
And a lot of that, of course, Brian, that really depends on where we get with our budget and this fundraising, because the locations cost money, and that's one of the items in our pre-production budget. And so based on how much we can raise, that tells us how much we can spend, and that tells us where we can contract with for the location, because some locations are going to be more expensive than others.
Of course.
And so we actually have our eye on a few different diner locations that we really like for the look of. Including one that we do use in our pitch deck and some of our promotional materials and things like that. There's a few diners that were, that just looks perfect. So we're hopeful, but we haven't nailed that down with the contract yet. We have to wait till we get our funds. It
also depends on like what city or location.
Right.
A diner is going to be way more expensive in Los Angeles than where I am in San Diego, or where Dana is, in like the suburb of Mass or a town in Massachusetts. So it literally all depends on the kind of the what piece of place.
And it could end up being one of those magical things where the outside of the diner is 1,000 miles away from the inside of the diner.
Yeah. I was just going to say, what if the diner you pick is in like geographically absolutely the wrong place, like visually, like on the outside, it's like, oh, this is way too slick of a city. We need like it to be dirty and down and out. You need the surroundings to match your story. So if this diner says, oh, you can use our diner, you're going to be like, actually, we can't use your diner. It's not in the right
It's too
place.
nice.
Well,
It's too nice,
Dana had
right?
actually sent us a few diner images where the exterior front of the diner or interior of the diner looked good, but around it just completely didn't work. And in that
Right.
situation, that's what we're thinking. It's like, okay, we can shoot the diner and then go someplace else to shoot the inside of it or the exterior
Magic.
around it.
Hollywood magic.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, so we're bringing up this diner a lot. What's the deal? Is this like the focal point? Is this? Can you give us a little tease why this diner's a big deal?
Do you want me to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Story.
Sure. Yeah, you wrote it.
The diner is a character. It is in itself a character. It is pretty much the central focus. The diner is, who's going to say it, somewhere to run. And there is actually a history to Leon's Diner. I should have sent that
Yeah.
to you. I know Trisha loves it.
I love the history.
The diner started as a soup kitchen during the Depression.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
been in Leon's family for a long time. And it went from a soup kitchen to a diner. During the 60s, it was a place for the radicals and the hippies and the flower children to hang out. Actually, let's go back. In the 50s, it got a jukebox. So it was a place for kids to hang out and dance at the diner. It had rock and roll music in there. Then in the 60s, it maintained. And as the area where the diner was, this warehouse district, which used to thrive with import-export businesses, started to lose all of its businesses, and drug trade and homeless people and pimps started coming in. The prostitutes stayed. The area got depressed, but Leon, the family, saw that this diner had a need. So instead of being open during the day, it started to just open after hours, giving it a place to be, a refuge for the homeless who needed shelter, the late night warriors, the lost travelers looking for a cup of coffee or a hot soup, a place where people could just communicate with one another or just feel safe overnight. And so it was only open from 10 to 10. The jukebox, however, stopped changing its music in the 80s. Leon had a
10
big
p.m.
thing
to
about
10
that
a.m.
era. So it's all old music on the
Oh.
jukebox.
10
And
p.m. to 10
Patty,
a.m., not
our
10
wonderful
a.m. to 10
waitress,
p.m.
has been with the diner for many, many
Forever.
years. She is
Forever.
Leon's right-hand man, woman.
The,
She pretty much is a staple in the diner as well. She's seen it all. She's seen the changes. Nothing surprises her. And she cracks the whip and keeps it safe and keeps it sane. It's a neutral place for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a homeless,
Yeah.
if you're an addict, or if you're just a weekend warrior. It's a place where everybody can go and feel safe.
It's common ground, and even just driving upstate this weekend, we stopped at the local diner that I remember from 10 years ago when I lived in New York, and it's like just getting that coffee, sitting in the booth, even if you're crammed in there, and then it's just
feels safe.
everybody has that same experience.
It feels safe and comforting in a diner, and so
Mm.
that's its role. That's the character's role in the film. It's that safe, comforting place where everybody can go.
and aesthetically, it's a noir film, so everywhere on the street should be like dark and shadowy with, like lamplight and stuff like that.
Sure.
And the diner is this beacon of light and color in the middle of this darkness.
Unlike a
Oh, I love
restaurant.
this. I've been getting chills, y'all. This is really good. Like I'm picturing this whole thing. Oh, this is really great. So let's since we have the diner and our lovely waitress here, she can't be with us, but who wants to talk about Ellie, who can't be with us tonight? She was another potential person that was going to come on. And I'll leave a link for her below too.
But
What's that?
Harry should talk about Ellie because Tiffany is his favorite character.
All right, let's talk about Ellie.
Gary, I think you should talk about Ellie as an actor. I think you're transformed, and then I can talk about her character.
I got to tell you, first, her work ethic is absolutely astounding. That is literally the first thing that comes to my mind is how much she read the script at one of the first table reads at a friend of mine's backyard. Hey, Russell. And he just wanted to be part of the script from that moment on. She was always asking about it. What can I do to make Harry know who I am? She put together her self-tape, which is like a mini movie. She just so embraced this character. She impressed me first. I knew in my heart that she was the right person because she was the exact opposite of what everybody thought of when they read the character. And to me, I said, that is really what I want. I don't want your typical, oh, okay, we're going to read this prostitute who's on the street and she's got all kinds of issues. I can picture her looking like this. If I asked 7 people what they thought Tiffany looked like, they all came up with something that was similar. And then I would show them Ellie, and they'd say, "Oh no, I don't think so." And that's
what's Ellie's last name? What's Ellie's last name?
Darcy Alden. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was in one of the Harry Potter movies. She's a lovely person and just really impressed me so much with her tape. I couldn't believe she just nailed it, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm thrilled.
She played Harry Potter's daughter.
I want to do this for the audience. There she is. So that's who we're talking about, y'all.
Yeah, that's her.
She's just marvelous. There she is. No, that's
No, I think didn't she play Harry Potter's daughter at the end at the train station?
She played his mother.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Look at that.
No, she's amazing. Very talented girl.
Yeah.
She played his anyway. All right.
As a child. Yeah.
As a child.
Yeah. Now, I would love to have shown you the reel that she sent to us, but I don't know if it will fit for this.
Yeah, no, it's not quite family. It's
not family fair.
Right. Okay. We'll save that for an even later After Dark
There you
show.
go.
Just real quick, we have another subscriber, Sarah. This is Sarah. It's me. She's here. She's always popping in. We got Guy, also known as Caveman Movies and More. He always says, Caveman's great. I always forget to tell people to hit the like, subscribe, and all that, and he's always here to say, hit that like button.
Thank you, Caveman. We appreciate it. So, thank you.
And Dan the Man is saying, was I the only one who saw butt cheeks?
Butt cheeks.
I think he means in your promo there, Gary.
Oh.
So I will say, no, I think we all saw some of those. Let's see. Scap says, great diners in Worcester, Maine. City would be great for scenery. Let's see. You've already got scouts, location scouts live.
Yeah, how fun.
Data. It's
great.
Worcester.
Guy's hilarious when he's pimping out. Speaking of pimping, somebody's pimping out another channel right there. For that reason.
Yes,
I've been there, Danielle, and I know the area because I've been where
we agree, Danielle.
I saw where you got married.
She got married in Worcester?
No, she got upstate New York.
Oh, upstate New York.
All right, so let's see. Getting to the actual shoot. So tell us a little bit about the process of getting your funding, and then how long you think that will take, and then once you hit a certain amount, what is the next step for your production?
If everybody gives us money tonight, we can go into production next week.
All right, everybody.
Hey.
All right. So if 10 people donate $1,000,
Yeah, so 10 people donate $1,000 each. We'll be filming next week.
We're all set.
Yeah, so the Seed and Spark campaign, actually, it's been on now since the 5th. We have a 45-day window. Our goal is, I think, just a hair under 70,000. We have to get to 80% of that, or pledges get returned to people. So it's
is that right?
Right. So we've got roughly almost a month, or just about a month left to raise what we need to get into pre-production. And then, of course, we're hoping by then we've got that ball rolling and we'll get some other investors on board, and then we'll just slide right into production. So that's our goal and that's our hope.
Yeah, it's really a situation where money begets money, but you have to start with money
You have
to
to
get
start.
money.
Yeah, and it can come from anywhere, any source. You just never know. So what we do is we network, we meet people, and honestly, small donations add up to huge donations. So we are happy to take $5, 50, 500, or 5,000. Let's make movies together, and you can know that your investment and your gift is not only going toward creating art, which we need a whole bunch of. in this world today.
Amen.
But also you're going to get a finished product, and you're going to be like, you're helping create something. You're a feature film, which is no small feat. So,
and we do have some fun incentives on our Seed and Spark too.
Oh, yeah.
If people are interested in getting a movie credit, for example, a thank you at the end credits or something like that.
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah.
Right. And higher levels, there's some
picture
fun
on the
incentives.
wall at Leon's Diner.
Right. You can have your picture on the wall of the diner that'll get on screen. So yeah, there's some fun
Fluffernutter.
Yeah.
get a fluffernutter named after.
Wendy will come serve you a cup of coffee.
Now,
yeah, and with social media as well it is important, and so having some of our team already in place is going to be instrumental as well, just to spread the word, get people knowing about the project and the Seed and Spark.
Now, Harry, so when you get the go, man, and you get the dough, and you're feeling saucy,
Yeah.
what's next? Is your cast done? Is it only partially done? Do you have a DP yet? Obviously, when you're dealing with noir and those sharp contrasts and shadows, and then of course that pop of color, you need someone with that right eye, right?
Yes.
So
we have a DP. Tyler, what's his name?
It's Tyler Allison. He's part of James Cameron's camera crew.
Right.
So we think he might do a good job, because James Cameron, if he makes a good movie, he might have a name for himself.
Right. So we have an extremely experienced, talented DP in place. Of course, then, and then, talented gaffer is going to be really important, because they're the ones that are going to have to set up the lights and create all the high contrast lighting and the shadows and things like that. Casting, that's one of the things we're going to be using the Seed and Spark money for, is to fill out the cast and get some names in key characters.
We do have some though already.
So we know what we're shooting. And then, production designer, costume designer. All of the key departments are going to be important, and we want people who are talented and fearless, and who will just kind of take the steam valve and put it all the way up and be as creative as possible.
We do already have, though, a few key people already attached and cast, and we're extremely lucky, not just with having Jane and Gary and Wendy cast in acting roles. We have several others already cast. Ellie, Darcy Alden. We have Meg DeLacy, who's just fabulous. Jose Zuniga, Michael Dempsey. We've got some wonderful, very, very talented people, that are already attached to the film, and so we're excited.
Well,
so far.
Trisha, let me ask you this, because I think people would find it fascinating. So I love that you're saying you have all these names connected, which is fabulous. So being that you're literally in the pre-production stage, how did you secure these actors saying, I'm in? Like, how does that happen? How did you do that?
So when we say they're attached, what we mean is we've given them a first right of refusal. We've offered them the role, and they've said, yes, we'd love to be attached to this film. So they have that first right of refusal. They are free at this point until we are actually contracted. We've got our pre-production funding in place, and then we can go ahead and we can get those contracts signed with them. They still could go off and do some other project. So it's kind of like a loose arrangement right now, but they've said, yep, I'll play that role. And then we just keep pushing it forward when we've got our pre-production fund.
Yeah, and hopefully the timing works out for everybody that we have with us right now. And those are our die-hard connections,
Right.
Yeah, we have Wendy right here to confirm that. It's a letter of intent.
Right.
We intend to give. What it means for us is, when we get the money, that is the first person that we're going to with the role and a contract. Mm-hmm. They have the right to refuse and then never talk to me again.
All right. So
well, I like to tell people that the thing I love about my business is I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I think I could be wrong. And the thing I hate about this business is I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I think I do, but I could be wrong.
I love it.
But there's a blessing clause in every letter of intent, which is, we intend to give you the role. If something comes up, go with our blessing, because that's how much we love you.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that makes a lot of sense. So Jane, you were saying, obviously, when you get the go ahead, and you and Harry, you guys lock in everything, right? And you have a set time. Well, now it is your dime. This is when you're ready to shoot and you're available. So, I mean, we know Wendy's going to be there, right? But what if?
We hope so.
I
I hope
mean, some of
so,
the
but you
others
never know.
could not be available, right?
Well,
And then you would have to recast.
What's great is there are a lot of talented people out there, but we'd rather not have to go recast. But
Right.
if we do, we will find amazing people because, not everybody's on the same schedule. So we just
Right.
do that. And that's part of what our funding is going to be for the casting director that might have an additional slew of relationships that
Oh,
will
yeah.
have those relationships to
Right.
fill a need if we have to go that way.
And shoot
There's
around schedules.
kind of a humbling thing that happens with me periodically is some of the actors who we have letters of intent with will reach out to me to tell me I've booked The Rookie. I've got a commercial. I'm going to be overseas shooting a film. Do you have an idea of what your date is? I can't tell you how good that makes me feel because they're taking that into consideration before
Yeah.
they take that job.
Yeah,
That's
they
nice.
check it first before they
Yeah.
accept it.
It's really a testament to the faith they have in this amazing series that they're willing to do that. And that's another aspect that attracted me to this project.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often in this business.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, that's loyalty. That's key.
Loyalty,
I mean, that
yeah.
is such a welcome thing. I mean, and it's just like when we do these streams too. I book a lot of people on these, and sometimes some people like last minute they can't make it or whatever. So you just sort of like, but they let you know, hey, bro, I'm sorry, I won't. But that way you're not sitting there going, where is where are the two people? And it's about that communication, which is great, like you're saying, Dana. So when this film is over, let's say we say it's in the can, right?
Right.
Where does the publicity go from there? Like, what then do you bring? What do you look for at that point? Well, once you've gotten all those product placements and you've gotten all those cars and those pimp outfits and this movie's done,
Film festivals,
what-
baby.
yeah, what happens in the post part for you?
Well, we will definitely be entering in film festivals. As you can probably see on the screen behind Dana there, we've already won quite a number of screenplay awards. The screenplay is just fabulous, and it's already won.
Sure, I'll pop this up for everybody.
So there we have so far some of the screenplay awards that we've won for the story. And once the film is in the can, I don't think they use cans anymore, but once it's done, then we'll definitely be getting it into
We still have to say in the can.
prestige festivals if we can, but and drum up a lot of interest in the film, and then take it to distribution. Hope we can get a really good distribution deal. So.
Film festivals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So festivals are huge, right? For films like this. Is that because Gary, I see you've entered your screenplay and you've won. Congratulations, all these nice awards. So now you take your film and do the same thing and drop that into the festivals. And is that where like you hope to get studio eyeballs on the picture? Is that how that works?
Well, this is it's an independent film.
Yeah.
We don't have the backing of a studio. So seeking distribution for the film, there's a couple of ways to go. We've been told a few magic ways to go. I'm old school. I like the festival route. I like getting it out there across the country and internationally. I've had short films that have gone international. So I kind of know how all of that works. And when you've got the right publicist who's also working with you and you get the good advertising that's going with you, it's going to require a little bit of money again. Money begets money. That's how films get out there. But also doing shows like Huck's Pop Culture Cafe.
That's a great one. Yeah, that's a really great.
That gets the word out.
I hear good things about that show.
Anticipating the film, and then when it's out there, they're looking for it and they're going to see it. And that will get us distribution.
In fact, speaking of, this is on that point. So Caveman's asking, and we were talking about this, Caveman, do you have a GoFundMe or somewhere people can donate? And that is the thing we're talking about, Seed and Spark. And if you look in the description below, it's the first thing. It says, please go to Seed and Spark, donate today. So if you go to that link, you can donate and get this movie on the path to greatness.
Yes.
To be all put together. So what's
Sandy.
your next step? What's your next step? So from here, you've got how many days left on your Seed and Spark?
About 39, roughly 39 days.
days.
Yeah, yeah.
And how are you getting the word out so far?
We've been email campaigns, social media, word of mouth. We'd love if people could go to some of our social media pages and share the information from there across their own social media platforms and kind of spread that awareness out throughout there.
Wonderful. And if
There's
y'all
a
have any
YouTube
extra,
channel. There's a YouTube channel for Beyond Reason Productions, and every time we make a small clip that we send out for social media, it's also going to be posted there as well. So you'll be able to catch up and see what we're doing.
great. And yeah, and also guys, if you have anything that comes up that you want me to share, send it to me and I'll add it in the description of this video so that
Thank you.
everybody
Thank
can check it out. Of course, absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Look, it's all about a one-stop shop. If people can just pop down this description and
Right.
there's all the links, that's so easy for people because they just go one at a time, you know?
Nice, thank you.
I have to say goodbye, guys. I
Okay.
have a
Bye,
client to
Jane.
tape on Zoom right now. So
Oh, Jane, we want to thank you
Like
so
it is,
much.
we're all working.
Godspeed, Danya.
Brian, and
I'll
thanks
sit on
everybody for listening and
Good to
supporting
see you,
us.
Jane.
Appreciate it.
It's good to
Yeah.
see you.
Bye,
See you
Jane.
soon.
Thanks for your
Bye bye.
insight. That was great, y'all. Jane's
Yeah.
amazing. So,
She is.
and I know she had to take off, and I was going to ask her, and maybe Trisha, you might know. So, when she puts these reels together, does what do they look? What is the backdrop? Because obviously, if I put a reel together, my house is going to be in the background to some degree, right? I'll get the least distraction.
They have studio space, yeah. So they have studio
Studio
space. And I would imagine that they tailor each one for the needs of whatever the audition is that they're doing. I can't really answer the question because she's the one who does that, but I do know that they have studio space both in New York and California, and it's a very professional audition tape process.
Wow.
Me personally,
Yeah,
as an actor, I have a green screen. I literally have a green screen in my living room that I can just pull across,
Right.
and that is my backdrop.
I think I saw that in the promo.
Yeah.
I was like, I think Gary forgot to key out the background.
Yeah.
And your lovely cat, Wendy, could you hear? I'm going to go full screen. You've got to introduce us to this lovely pussy cat.
This is Sirius Black.
He's a beauty. He
great.
is a beauty. Hi, baby.
He's often on camera with me when I'm auditioning. I came into an audition one time and the director went, "Oh, you're the one with the cat."
Oh, yeah. See, that's called production value, y'all. A live cat crossing in there.
It used to bother me that he would try to interrupt, and then I realized I can't do anything about it. And
Cat's gonna do what a cat's gonna
the
do.
glory of self-taping.
She's like Blofeld with the cat.
Right.
Yeah.
The Blofeld. So,
Yes,
what I want to do for the audience before we wrap it up here, y'all, is if you guys have any questions for the panel here, anybody in particular, or just a group question, now's your chance to be heard and have these lovely people answer your questions. As we get there, let's see. Danielle says, "It is a built trust that we have with this team." Amen. Are you shooting digitally or celluloid? There's our question from Caveman. And how do you make the decision of which you choose? Love that question. Maybe Harry?
I'd love to shoot celluloid, but that would incur a much greater cost than digitally. So it will be digitally.
And how do you procure your lights and your what do you call all the little goodies? Tape, walkie-talkies, all that stuff.
That's just part of the production cost. Maybe Gary or Trisha, you can speak.
I can chime in on that a little bit.
Like
comes
Pascal
down to
lighting?
the same way. It actually does come down to the same way that we procure our cast. A lot of it is who you know, who you've worked with in the past. For example, if we did shoot in Boston, I'm connected to John Rule and Rule Productions. So we have Rule Camera, I'm sorry, John Rule at Rule Camera in Boston. So we can get deals from them. Our line producer has connections here. So it really is just who knows who and what deal can you get. There are different production houses that supply all of that.
Yeah.
Is there anything you don't have lined, and anybody can go for this, anything you don't have lined up yet, whether it's an actor or a location, any sort of wished thing? And this will sort of,
Catering and
we'll just
craft
go around the
service.
horn. I want to hear everybody. What is the thing you're hoping to get? What did you say, Gary?
Catering and craft service.
There you
Catering services.
Food is very important to Gary,
Crews would revolt if you don't have good catering.
right?
I know,
Can't put it
catering
well
is
on
key,
your
man.
stomach.
Thing. Yeah.
Catering. Cranky cast. If you got a cranky cast, man, I don't care how good of a director you are, if they're hangry,
Yeah,
it's all over.
very true.
Well, this has been a lot of fun, y'all. What I want to do is, as we close out, is go around the horn, as we say, and as we close out, anything you want to share with the audience that you're working on right now that maybe isn't part of this, or other projects you got coming up in the future. Let us know. Harry, we'll go with you. We'll pop you on full screen, buddy.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm also a writer, so I actually just applied for to be a writer director for a contest that is sponsored by Monkey Paw, which is Jordan Peele's production company. He was looking for monster shorts. I'm a huge monster genre horror sci-fi fantasy. That's my passion. So. I applied for that as a writer and director, which was a lot of fun. I also have a couple of feature scripts that I'm writing that I always send out to contests. One's a romantic dramedy about a doomsday prepper, and other is a found footage horror action fantasy.
Nice.
Sounds great. I love it. You're a busy
A lot
guy.
of fun stuff there.
Trisha, how about yourself?
So this is my only project that I'm working on right now. Gary does have a number of other scripts in various stages, several that are very close to being ready to shoot. And so we're hoping that, once we're finished with this, the success of that will lead into some of these other projects that we have on kind of a back burner right now. But this one has my focus right now. And I just want to thank everybody so much for tuning in tonight and watching. And hopefully this will help us get to our goal.
Absolutely. That's my hope too. Dana, sir, how about you?
Yeah, I'm working on a couple other projects, but I'm really laser focused on STR. And by the way, Gary's film last year was accepted. Reason was accepted into our Boston Film Festival. We
That's
had about
right.
600
Right.
submissions.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Well
Well done.
won several awards already. So, yeah, this is really exciting. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. And of course, our favorite waitress, Wendy.
Wendy.
I just did a 7-minute promo. It was for Usher's performance at the Super Bowl, where I played Wesley Snipes' driver in Vegas with Ludacris, Taraji P. Henson, and Lil Jon. And I believe it's still on YouTube. If you Google "Where's Usher," you should be able to see it. That's what they were all making the references to. I played a character named Blanche. And, Entertainment Weekly called me nothing short of a national treasure.
Oh, that's
And I also just did a reading of a new play as part of Caltech's Mach 33 festival of new plays, science related plays, and did a very interesting play called Axioms. The cat hasn't done anything except get in the way.
Was very good at it.
He
All
is.
right, Gary, what you got, buddy?
Wow. Okay. Well, aside from this, I have two shorts that we're looking at right now. One of them is kind of a bit of a secret. The other one is Peanut, and Peanut is about a guy who literally finds a reason to move forward. He finds magic in life by finding two peanuts and his guardian angel. I have a horror film called Bellows Falls. and a rom-com called Nothing But Trouble, about two guys chasing love until it finds them. Aside from that, the palette is full. I couldn't really go through all of it. But before I go, I would like to say this. I'd like to give a shout out to Michael Dempsey. He's doing a table read today. Good luck on that. I'd like to say fingers crossed with you, Jose. I know you're in Europe. Ellie, my heart's with you right now. Meg Galacy, have fun with your family. I know that they've come in for this weekend. So you've been with us for this entire broadcast in our hearts and minds.
Very true.
Thank you so much. And lastly, I think Caveman, I think we kind of answered this one, Harry. He's wondering if there's like a certain company where you rent licensed stuff, but I think that depends on the location you're going to.
Yeah.
And then you just look up the local light key grip stuff. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So, but my friends, this has been an absolute pleasure talking the industry with you, getting to know you and this upcoming project that sounds absolutely amazing. So if anybody wants to chip in and donate and be a part of this upcoming film, like I said, all the links are in the description below. Links to everybody's, like whatever I had for you. I got IMDb's, I've got Harry, I've got your webpage. Just go check them all out. We'll probably add more to it. And if you guys enjoyed this, we hope to do more like this in the future. For you guys too, if there's any other upcoming projects you have and you want to be a part of it and you want me to like bring you on, I'd love to have any of you back. And there you go. So does anybody have any last things they'd like to say before we head out?
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for
Brian.
having us. Thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun.
And thank every single one of you for joining us and sitting with us for this past hour. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure. And here we go. This is it's our first one, so it's a very weird little sign off. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here tonight. And with this, we bid you adieu. Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.